Here we are with game two. Quite the ending. Midnight Sun outplayed Hong Kong Esports the whole time. Um, kind of strange. Didn't see that one coming. I guess the ending's fitting because of how unexpected it is for Hong Kong Esports to lose the game or to play that badly compared to Midnight Sun, and then that happens. Either way, Midnight Sun have game one. If they play it like they did in game two, they deserve to take the series 2-0. Don't think that's going to happen. A lot of mistakes, like letting Nautilus through in the pick bans. Had they not, there would be no Zero Portal. Hong Kong Esports would have won there. Although, to Maple Snow's credit, he did a lot of damage in those fights. Helped the team out a lot, even when they were losing fights. Here we are into game two. Zedbin, once again from Midnight Sun. Not letting Rock and I onto his assassins. I think HK needs to change their bans. Leave the Trundle open. You can take it if they go for the Nautilus again first pick. And like, had Hong Kong Esports had Trundle as their support instead of Brum, although Brum's really good. If they had Trundle, Alistar Nautilus really tanky to get rid of those tank stats. Well, and Midnight Sun not changing their bans up this time around. Lulu gets banned by Hong Kong Esports. Mission played that really well. And Hong Kong Esports banned the Alistar. Why is there this... What's with the Gragas priority here? Well, Midnight Sun taking Gragas away from Dinter this time. Dinter a lot better on the supportive junglers than the carry ones. But Willow is at least, despite him dying randomly before fights, which will happen anywhere on Gragas if he gets caught out like that, he played the Elise really well. He got a lot of picks for his team. Hong Kong Esports now hovering the Trundle. It's a safe pick. You already have one tank on the team. Now with Midnight Sun. Midnight Sun likely to take Gragas in the next round. Or not Gragas, Nautilus in the next round if you don't take it here. Kindred would be an interesting pick. Gragas counters Kindred. It's all because you can just take everyone out of it anyway. But they're not going to go with that. They're going to go with Thresh. That I don't agree with doing that because you're telling that it's a Nautilus top or Trundle top. And for as much as I think that's a terrible thing to do in your draft, picking Nautilus right afterwards when you know that they counter it is, well, they're going to lock it in. It could be Nautilus mid. That's actually a thing. But that's still going to be countered by Trundle in the late game. I think this is Hong Kong Esports draft. Taking Corki here and then picking your jungler means you can flex the Corki mid-bottom depending on what Midnight Sun pick. It denies them from taking Corki as well. But Dinter gonna go to the Elise and it looks like Godquai. I don't think Godquai's gonna play Sivir. He's not one of those AD carries. He's a selfish AD carry. For no matter how many times he plays Sivir, I don't think he's ever gonna pick it. He could become a Sivir main and play nothing but Sivir for 100 games in professional in a row, and I'll still say he's not going to pick Sivir, but he did pick it. So, all the eggs into the Trundle basket right now. He's going to get speed buffed up by Sivir. Sivir's going to offer wave clear as well, so Rock and I can play that assassin mid. The Braum coming out with 3 tanks. I think you go with the Bard here. Well, I'm gonna go with the Braum instead. I like Bard Lucian because of how much 2v2 pressure you have in it. All these teams after lane swapping go back into the 2v2s. We'll see really good Korean teams. If they can't be in a 2v2 and a 1v1, they stay as 5-man. We haven't seen that transition into LMS yet. So I think picking strong lanes is really good for them. But as it stands, Rock and I got his assassin LeBlanc. We have Nautilus in top lane for Nino, Willala onto Gragas, Mission on Azir, Corgi on Lucian, Noang on Braum. Hong Kong Esports have Trundle, or Maple Snow on Trundle in the top, Dinter on Elise jungle, Rock and I on LeBlanc mid, Godquai on Silver, and Ole on Thresh. I think picking all those tanks against Trundle, I guess it's so. Midnight Sun are thinking, well, he can eliminate one of our tanks. So if we have more than one tank, he can't reduce all of our resistances. We'll still have tanks. Also, Azir Lucian, a lot of late game damage. But we saw, or I mentioned this last game as well, but we've seen LeBlancs just destroy Azirs in late game. Like, no matter how far behind they fall, LeBlanc will still be able to burst it out. Maybe there's enough protection this time. Also, Braum, pretty good at peeling, especially with Lucian's double shot. You can just land a mark onto anyone diving, they're gonna get stunned. So Midnight Sun have a pretty good comp, it's just Trundle's the hole in the comp. Hong Kong Esports with the Silver pick, doesn't do much damage to tanks. All Silver's damage to late game comes in, you get a crit onto your Ricochet, it goes through the team, hits the backline, and like halves them. Yeah, Maple Snow finding Nino, gonna do some trading early. Has Grasp of the Undying, both the top laners do, but Nino dropping really low. Maples, don't turn around, Maple Snow gets the ward clear. Well, Mission looking to see if anyone's waiting that bush, doesn't find any, so Sanisol just gonna disappear and he'll just go back to lane normally. Midnight Sun are playing really cautious. They're starting on Wolf Camp because of the wards that HK were able to put down. They don't want there to be a lane swap, and then them end up on the short side of the stick like last game happened, where they tried to start on blue and got forced away. None happening, so Gragas just gonna go back to his buff. Hong Kong Esports pinging out that they started on the Wolf Camp. Knowing taking a lot of damage here. Spell Shield came out level 2 to block the Q. And Corgi taking a lot of damage. Flay comes out. This will be first blood. Double flash from bot lane. The heal came out and flash from Lucian. Ole. Actually, Godquai picking that, but Ole used both sums. And not sure. Not sure what Corgi was thinking there. Playing that far up. Thresh just flayed him backwards. he ended up falling. Shades of his last game on the Ezreal, where he was always just jumping forward. Gragas gonna not be interrupted in any of his clear, but Ole and Danger heading towards this mid lane. Could be really bad for a mission if LeBlanc gets ahead. Chain doesn't land, but Hook is flashed away from him, so flash down. No one comes back here to help Gragas with the red buff. Make sure no steal attempt came in. LMS teams are playing, like I've said this before with HQ, but it's really all teams just play too slow to win internationally. Mission hitting up Dinter for a lot of damage. He's just going to repel away on that. Mission taking the passive off Rock'n'Eye. Krax is behind here. Doesn't land the flash body slam. If he waited for longer on the body slam before flashing, it would have been a kill. Ole gonna clear it, or not gonna clear it this pink ward, as knowing is there. This is a 3v2. They're just gonna back away from this though. Not sure if you were minutes on why you back, because just forced LeBlanc back. You saw at least in top side. Why not overcommit to that 4v2? Because Lucian was coming up. You'd burn more summoners off them. Anyway, that's in the past. Back into this bot lane where, despite the first blood, Midnight Sun have the edge in items. Sivir going for that call first. Well, Rock'n'Eye has to be LeBlanc, or, well, Assassin main, but right now has to be playing a lot of LeBlanc because that's always banned. You think he'd land his chains a bit more. Hong Kong Esports gonna freeze out this bot lane because Corgi went for pink ward. That's where, as a bot lane, you don't go off to the side, you don't get distracted. You have to play aggressively into that one to force them back. Because a bit of aggression there would prevent, actually, mission drops really low. A bit of aggression there would prevent you from being pushed up for the next, like, 2 waves. Rock'n'Eye flashing, or not flash. Did he flash? No, he didn't have flash up. Okay, so he W'd forward, trying to pick up the kill. Mission just slides away from it. And blue buff steal from Dinter. Will trying to solo out this dragon. Mission gonna actually fall down here. Don't know why Dinter took that one. Gonna get chained up, get stunned or snare from it after a slide, and then Flash Cocoon by Elise secures the kill for Rock and I. Repel into the bite, secures it for Dinter. Dinter going for the non-jungle side of his jungle item first. Better for ganking, of course. Worse for jungle farming. Lucky for him is one of his ganks at least transitioned into a kill. You see if he can force that into more. No one getting hooked up here. Box comes out for a slow. The interchasing red buff is procced. He's gonna flash away. Collapsed by Midnight Sun do force them to stop the chase. Midnight Sun look like they're stuck in their last, like, what was it, 10 minutes, 5 minutes of the last game? They played the beginning of last game so well, and now they're just, like, all of last game, and then they just decided to go back to being the team we feel Midnight Sun is. They're not a bad team because we saw them play good, but just not performing, not making the proper decisions, being slow in everything they do. But they're not this team. We saw it last game. Why are they trying to be this team again? Well, Gragas has completed his jungle line. 12 CS lead onto Dinter. Doesn't equalize that kill, but in items right now they're equal. Both junglers going for the proper jungle item. Having vision's just the strongest thing you can have in this game. So getting that item, although there's no ward replenish, which there should be in the item. Mission dropping pretty low on that. Body slam gonna miss again. Starting to wonder why they prioritized Gragas when they had the Elise work out so well last game. Dragon's gonna get reset, but not gonna be enough to stop them from taking it. Hong Kong esports with the second drag of the game. Rock and I going in. Playing really risky here, but Midnight Sun was on the wrong side of mid lane for a kill to happen there. Mission staying in this lane. Hook lands onto Corgi. Double lantern, or not double lantern, double flay onto them. Corgi flashes away, but it's not enough. He's gonna fall down. Cobbing doesn't get hit by the cocoon, but this dive's gonna kill him. And while picking that one up, he should be attacking still while doing it. Doesn't matter. They pick up the kill. Two teleports are being burned. Godquai is kind of left on his own here. Spell shielded the auto, it looked like. Okay, so Nautilus' passive counts as a spell. And then Warlords on Godquai healed him a bit. Huh. Dinter shouldn't have taken the lander. Should have given that to Sivir. Dinter has his flash up, and he can repel away from danger. They would have been able to turn it for maybe a kill. If not, returning it for a kill, you get away at least. But you put Godquai out onto the Sivir. They win lane thanks to Ole. Maple Snow's Trundle stayed in the spot lane after TPing. Gonna pick up the turret. Sivir already rotated to top. Corgi's gonna chase him, but don't think they can get a kill. If they started committing, Pillar were just committing, he'd run away. Ni now taking a lot of damage. Bit of EM from him when he knows he can't die, but not going to be able to clear out much more of this. Feeling pretty safe with the Sunfire Cape. Mission losing half on the ult. Okay, so he ulted with his W, and before he Rock and I Q'd so that the Q procced on his alt W. Maple Snow taking a lot of damage here. Willola's here for the dive. Picks up that kill. Turret's gonna fall down for Midnight Sun. But they're gonna be trading it for a turret in the top lane. And Rift Herald. Dragon's not spawned yet. So no answer on that one. Ult comes out from mission. Rock and I jumps back to his ult, but okay. The zero ult was there to knock him back up again. Wolf cleared out by calling. I don't know why I'm just calling him knowing I'm last game, but it's calling. And Midnight Sun gonna look to take a top turret before they lose their bot laner. Should be able to get this. Willola's there for the assist. Ni now jumping away. Dinter doesn't let the cocoon mean that he's gonna be safe. On the hunt was popped on that. Hong Kong Esports meanwhile are using a power play mid and bot lane. So 2 turrets for that 1 turret. HKE playing how we expected them in the early game. Well, it takes a lot of damage being played into that box. Nino taking some on his own. Will is to half. Mission being here means no more follow-up. Maple Snow catches him. Ult comes out. A zero ult to separate the fight. And there's a teleport coming in from Nino. Rock and I forces the heal. And he's going to jump out of that one. Corgi's taking a lot of damage on his own here. He is gonna fall. Flash by Trundle. Don't think that was needed. Maple Snow picks up that, and the Cocoon lands onto Kawing. Midnight Sun trying to counter that play with a push on mid. Elisa and Sivir recalling means I don't think they're going to be able to stop this, but teleport forces them back. This wave's gonna hopefully get crashed. Be really bad if Midnight Sun are able to freeze it for Hong Kong Esports. But they're gonna try to stop them from freezing it by pushing in onto this mid. 4 people are here. Nina should be going in. Not gonna go for it. Midnight Sun. A bit cautious on pulling the trigger. The 0-3 Lucian. So, well, at least in this series, we get to see the positives and negatives of having Woong on your team. Positives, it can help you win fights. Negatives, it can throw your game. More negatives, you can feed in the lane. But silver lining for Woong, as the Bannerman is going to die to the turret here. They say he was the only 80 carry ever aggressive enough to match Mad Life. And that's why their laning works so well together. When they replace them with Space, people give Space a hard time, but they shouldn't because he was a good 80 carry. Space was passive, 80 carry. There's always passive and aggressive players. But as a passive 80 carry with Mad Life doing all these plays, he couldn't follow up. Later into his career, got better at following them up, but the Mad Life also got a lot less aggressive. Well, we're going to get caught out here. Cocoon lands, but he's able to dash away. Chain gets flashed, but it still lands. He falls down. Supposedly Cass comes out, and Colleen comes across to do a lot of damage. Hook on to Godquai doesn't stun him, but ult's coming in. Maple Snow in there, disrupting the backline. Ni now falls pretty low. He gets saved by the Azir ult. And Rockanai flashes forward, gets the ult W, or ult distortion for the kill. Only objective that can be taken is Baron. I don't think either team's going to go for that. Actually, Midnight Sun still have this mid turret. And with Sivir going bot, it's going to be a free take for them. Ole tried to scare them off by throwing the lantern back. Kawing gets hit by a hook. A lot of damage coming in from this LeBlanc. Does force them to go back, but Sundisk means that they're going to be safe to do so. A lot of damage coming in here. And then Trundle ults Nina, which gets cleansed right away. Or QSS'd. And that's how tanks counter Trundle as they buy QSS. So, QSS, not the greatest buy as a tank, but Trundle can just ult someone else who doesn't have QSS, like the Gragas or the Braum, since you have other tanks. If all three of them get QSS, it'd be really weird to see a QSS on Braum. I haven't seen that in pro play. But if they get to the point where they all get QSS, then Trundles already had an impact on this game. Like every fight they're gonna have a less than optimal tank item just to deal with his ult. As we see, Ni now building into a spectral cowl item, or like Spirit Visage or Banshee's Veil, probably Spirit Visage. Just because he needs more MR after going for this QSS. It's great, like as an item, because you can stop CC, or in this case, Trundle ult. Great for resistances, but as a tank, you need super tank items. Like QSS doesn't offer any health, so it's half an item for tanks. Going for other MR items would give you health. Even Hex Drinker / Maw, as Kawing gets hit by a hook, gives you effective health. The shield coming, magic damage shield coming in. Oh. 3 dragons tonking swords. Maybe it's a red side thing. People on red side have good early games, and people on red side get 5 dragons. It'd be really awkward if people on red sides also throw the game and then get saved by minions. It'd be as hype as it is and how great it is. If that started happening in multiple games, it would get pretty boring. Although it'd be interesting to see how that gets dealt with. Riot balance to have things, like have the game played their way. That changes all the time, and they're never consistent with what their way is. But I can say minions ending the game would probably get nerfed really hard. They just be like, super minions don't do damage to turrets anymore. Oh, Ole trying to clear out this jungle, doesn't find any wards, so knows that they have a clean escape. Well, getting hit by a hook, doesn't get hit by the cocoon or boomerang, so no follow-up damage. Rakina can take this mid turret at any time, as they have so much pressure top. Cocoon misses again. Kawing with a Braum ult onto Ole. Both junglers need to have the opposite pick. Rock Knight comes in with the ult, but it doesn't find anyone. And a hook, 3-man body slam coming in. Godquai flashes away. Willow is falling low. A 0 ult to break up the fight. They need to turn on to Rockanai though and deal with him in the backline. Ole's really low. He's gonna get picked up by Ni now. Kawing dies to the chain. Silver gets a double kill while that's going on. 4 kills for the side of HKE. Trading that to the support, they're gonna be able to get Baron. So LeBlanc had they overcommitted. Like, it was a great engage. It didn't work out. They needed to stop dealing with that engage. A 0 ult. The exits they have to walk all the way around or flash over. Then which they very well could have, seeing the flashes that were all burned rather recently onto HKE, although God Quais was away. Turn on this LeBlanc, and I'll go through here. So that's good. Alt's good there, although his only 1, but it slows. Gragas ult to disengage the fight. This is where they back off. And then you see LeBlanc there. Don't flash forward, but they did it anyway. So going from here, you turn around, you all deal with this LeBlanc. Azir shouldn't have been that far forward. He should have blocked off the exit. He didn't. He just blocked part of the river off with his ult. Had he just ulted for the exit and they all turned on to LeBlanc, would have been able to deal with her and then deal with the rest of the team. Or at least get out of it, because it was no longer an optimal fight since they lived for so long. Oh, I just fed my guinea pig. HKU with a 8k gold lead. Rock and I going a lot better since he didn't have to lane against Lulu. Just dashing for any amount of damage he can do. Silver clears away since he doesn't worry about that. Blue buff's going to keep topped up as well. Ole looking for a hook on the side. Only tanks being shown, doesn't really care for those hooks. With mission recalling, it's going to be a free turret. And Pillar comes out. I was about to say that's what you have to do for pushing, but they are going to go clear top lane while Maple Snow clears bot. He has teleport up to join the team if need be. TP advantage, unless they send mission bot, which they didn't. They sent Nina bot, so TP advantage for the side of Hong Kong. Mission getting pretty low. Falls down to Rock and I. Only hand just popped. He dropped to about a quarter of his health due to Ricochet. Rock and I coming in from the back, lands the chain. Well, barrel stuff's gonna be pretty bad if he missed it, although Mission shouldn't have been in that scenario. As soon as LeBlanc came over, he should have ulted. And dive onto the tank here. Ragus with a great ult. Blocks the back line out. Godquai is too low to fight, but he can still hit from the distance. Double kill for the Sivir. This looks like it's going to be a 30-minute game coming in after what looks like a really non-clean game. Lucian falls down. It's only Braum left. Mission respawns. They're not going to push anymore. Rock and I thought he could do a pick. A zero out comes out and he flashes away. So Hook comes in. Great ult by Gragas right here. Separates the fight so they don't have any damage coming in. But Rock and I destroys Corgi in that fight, and then Maple Snow just chases after him, picks that one up. If only they had two Gragas ults, could have knocked them away twice and would have been fine in that fight. I don't think Pick Dan really played a part in this. Midnight Sun just played this game a lot worse. We thought Hong Kong Esports would have been defeated. Low motivation going into this game after how they lost last one. But they started right where they left off, and unfortunately for Midnight Sun, so did they. Wave clear from Mission. Not going to be enough once everyone gets there. Maple Snow is going to throw to Pillar to zone out. It does so right there. Turret gets to half. Hook on to Nina again. He's going to cleanse away. Trundle still has his ult. Subjugate is going to come out, and no Q assist to stop him this time. As the tank, if you're building Q assist for Trundle, you have to have faith that they can't kill you before the Trundle ults. Like, if you can't survive getting hooked, dodge the hooks. But you can't just be using your Q assist every time you do. Corey's going to get hit by Maple Snow. He's diving here. Not going to go any further into the base. Colin comes out and he's below half. Mission has to jump away with the Sand Soldier, means he won't be able to do much damage until his Q comes back up. A zero ult comes out but doesn't hit anyone. Elise getting hit up by Nala Assault. Sivir gets up a kill with Ricochet. Another one's going to come down. Trundles Ravenous, or not Ravenous Hydra, Titanic Hydra picks up a kill. Sivir picks up the next one. And finally, 33 minutes into the game, this one ends. Should have been a lot closer game, but Midnight Sun sort of flopped. 2-0 for Hong Kong Esports, or 1-1 for Hong Kong Esports, not a 2-0. That's how much I thought that they would 2-0. Probably how much they thought they would 2-0.